What is going on, guys? MCU World from MCU Productions here, back with another top 10 list. It's been a while since I actually done an actual top 10 list, and actually want to discuss my favorite moments of a certain trilogy or franchise. And that's something that everyone, again, those are the videos I honestly had the most fun doing, discuss my favorite moments of a certain movie, a franchise, or a trilogy. And that's what I'm going to do. As for today's video, I will be discussing my 10 favorite moments from the Spider-Man Homecoming trilogy, from Spider-Man Homecoming, Far From Home, and of course, the most recent released, No Way Home. And I don't like, this was actually a lot tougher than I actually expected, honestly. Like, I knew this wasn't easy, but, man, just the moment I was like, damn, I wish I could put that moment on the list. I mean, Homecoming, Far From Home, in my opinion, had a lot of great moments in general, but after No Way Home, jeez, like, I could have just made a top 10 list on, this was a No Way Home, I could have made a top 10 best list on No Way Home, if I'm being honest, but I decided just, whatever, stay home for, because at least there was some moments in Far From Home and Homecoming that at least did make the top 10. Because I think Homecoming Far From Home, I think a lot of people get credit for, in my opinion, but No Way Home, like, yeah. And these are all my opinion great movies, so this was definitely an interesting list to discuss, and an interesting list of what are my favorites from this trilogy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this list. Let me know what are your favorite moments down below in the comments section. Let me know what are best moments list you guys like seeing on this channel down below. It could be anything from a movie, a TV show, or a video game. What have you? Let me know down below in the comments. Don't be on the bush. Let's get started. But before we do get to the actual top 10, let's discuss the honorable mentions, moments that I still loved. They just come as honorable. By the way, also again, there will be spoilers in this video. By the way, I mentioned that there will be spoilers in these videos. I'm going to talk about the moments, so I can't talk about them. So just be warned, there will be spoilers. But here are the 10 moments I still loved. They just unfortunately done with. So those moments are, and by these moments aren't in any particular order: the second post-credit scene in No Way Home, the Doc Ock fight sequence in No Way Home, the Mac Murdock scene in the Strange vs. Peter fight in No Way Home, Tony taking Peter's suit in Homecoming, Aunt May's reaction to find Peter Spider-Man in Homecoming, the opening scene and the final battle in Far From Home, Ned's reaction to find out Peter Spider-Man in Homecoming, and the emotional, happy, and Peter talk from Tony Stark in Spider-Man Far From Home. Again, all fantastic moments. They unfortunately just did not make the list. So, we're not being pushed. Let's get started with the actual top 10. Kicking off the list at number 10, we have the Mysterio visions from Far From Home. Now, I know Mysterio definitely has. Now, say what you will about Mysterio. I mean, I know some people really love Mysterio like I do, but there's some people that really don't like Mysterio, if I'm being honest. But Mysterio's really good. And the visions that he pulls with this movie is pretty much a definition of a mindfuck. Like, it really makes you mess with, not the audience, but even the audience's way, because those ones we can never know is actually like real or fake. And again, and Jake Gyllenhaal really does a great job playing this menacing character. Like, someone that pretty much was a nice guy, but then he ended up being like a psycho villain, and actually had, motivations despite being a Tony Stark. But the actual vision that he portrays and the visuals and all that stuff is just pretty unique and just pretty fun and just pretty wow. And that was really messy Peter said. So overall, yeah, still a great. Still, which up over home. Because this moment's great. Coming in number 9, we have the Peter and Michael and Vulture talk in Homecoming. But basically, we're basically found that apparently Peter was taking Liz to prom, and found that the villain we're following is actually his daughter. Which, honestly, I'm pretty sure a lot of people did not actually see coming, honestly. Like, it's actually kind of shocked that they actually went that route, actually, and that it works as well as it does. And then basically there's prom, and you see the Vulture, which kind of knows that Peter is Spider-Man, and the conversation that they end up having throughout that, and back and forth, is just, wow, it's actually pretty tense and kind of chilling, honestly. And I like his acting in this scene. Just kiss. At number 8, we have MJ finding out that Peter is Spider-Man from Far From Home. I don't know why, this moment just made me smile whenever I watch it. This is kind of by one of the most rewatched moments I see from Far From Home. I don't know why, I just like going back to this moment. And you kind of has the great chemistry that Peter and MJ do have. Like, yeah, MJ's, like we said, MJ's always a character that I think has gotten better in these late movies. Not saying she's always been bad by any means, But it's scary. I think it's gotten improved upon later movies, and they do a good job in developing the chemistry between these two characters, and especially back what they end up happening with Wanda. Then Peter wanted to make her feelings for her. Then it's like MJ, and then Peter said, and Spider-Man. And at first he denies it, and then they end up finding out about the whole Mysterio thing and everything, and then it's like, I am Spider-Man, and I really messed up. Like, wait, you're serious right now? I'm just I was just expect that shirt. Like I don't know, just that back and forth was just great, and such great chemistry that these two characters have. Now at number 7, we always get to what's always been my favorite moment from Spider-Man Homecoming, and that is the Spider-Man coming out of the rubble from Homecoming. This moment's always stood. I mean, it's always been my favorite moment from Homecoming, because it symbolizes a lot of the emotion, a lot of the tragedy that Peter ends up going through. Basically, Peter tried to buy Vulture and everything, and they end up into rubble and everything, and he ends up getting Tony Stark's like, if you can't have the suit, you shouldn't have, which again was another good moment that unfortunately missed the list. Just the emotion in this scene, Tom Holland's acting here, and we know what Peter has been going through throughout this movie. Like the emotion, basically the emotion in the scene is pretty much what adds up to seeing what has always stood out to me from this movie. From the also the directing and the music playing. Again, just kiss. And now we get to No Way Home moments. Like pretty much 5 of these next 6 lists are pretty much moments of No Way Home, honestly. Like I said, I could have mentioned the top 10 list of No Way Home. And number 6 and number 5 are going to be moments down following the Peter Parkers that we meet. Number 6 is basically the first appearance we see from Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire portraying the Peter Parkers, and which is number 6. And number 5 basically the moments where they discuss their tragic experience to Tom Holland's Peter. Like, again, this is from tragedy from a moment that we were going to get into later, but after because what happened in May, basically Tom Holland's pretty much just broken and everything, and then then Peter trying to find him, then they end up has a spell. It's like, I wish you could see him. I wish we could see him. And then we see another Spider-Man. And then we see Andrew Garfield coming out. I'm happy I saw this movie because the audience that I got to see this, everyone was just like roar, like, oh my God, Andrew Garfield's returning. And then we get some funny interactions between them, and then we see Tobey Maguire, who pretty much was my version of Peter Parker. Honestly, I think now tells me I've never been the hugest fan of Andrew Garfield, but now I'm pretty much an anime fan of his portrayal. You know, he's still kind of my least favorite of the 3, but this thing love him a lot more. But also, again, seeing Tobey was also pretty just. Yeah, Peter Parker. Again, all stuff really just put a big smile on my face, especially, you know, seeing the interactions with each other and everything. It's like, I don't trip him, I kind of all night seeing what thing and everything, and like, I tried to like, yeah, it's sort of this moment that ended up being like an actual big surprise. This moment was just kind of just like shown to us. I mean, I don't say it wasn't shown, they only shown the trailers, but all the behind the scenes stuff, like, it's something that was pretty hard not to miss. Fortunately, so I wish then, you know, actually seeing Andrew Garfield told me why I would have been more of a surprise, but that didn't make the appearances any great. Of course, we end up seeing them interact with Tom Holland's Peter, and I'll get more into the actual fun interactions later in this list. Because, you know, seeing Peter talk about their own experiences to Peter, we discuss basically, you know, I know what you're going through and everything, and Tom was like, I don't want you here, so I need friends to stay in the back, and then Andrew Garfield's trying to talk about his, basically, what happened to Gwen and everything, how that's pretty much affected him, which makes that one honestly a lot more emotional, and then actually made me project the moment so much more than I honestly didn't honestly. And then Toby talking about Uncle Ben and everything, and about the rape health responsibility and everything. Like, so. And just seeing these Spider-Mans just so, again, I'll talk a little about that later, but it emphasizes a lot of the emotion that the film was going for, and it's really that seeing these Peter Parkers weren't just like fan service moments over there, just like shoehorned in there. They actually mattered to the overall story, and they really enhanced Tom Holland's Peter, which I think a lot of people really worry about that going over shadow Tom Holland's Peter, but they actually did. In fact, they more than enhanced him, and that's definitely a plus. Now, at number 4, we get to the iconic first post-credit scene of Far Home. I know when I hear the announcement, a lot of stuff's going to be No Way Home. I was worried that they're going to make this scene kind of feel a little more irrelevant, because of, well, I mean, what first they're going to do out there, I was worried that they're going to make it a little more make this story kind of a little more irrelevant to basically what they were trying to go for, bringing all these characters back, but thankfully they didn't. thankfully they did not. They did a great job of making this moment feel a lot more impactful and how it really affects Peter and everything. But I mean, the actual scene itself is great. It's like, I remember how blown away I was when this scene when I first saw it. Like, they were drove off home, but you can't deny that this scene was like jaw dropping. Like, what? I mean, it's basically kind of a triple whammy where basically Mysterio basically frames Spider-Man of what happened in New York, what happened during that fight sequence, what happened during that whole battle, which was actually pretty convincing. I say J.K. Simmons, Brian as well, J. Jonah Jameson, who was also very iconic in the Raimi trilogy, and the best part, Mysterio revealing Spider-Man as Peter Parker, which that last one was just jaw-dropping. Me and my brother's jaws were literally on the floor, like. And yeah, just in No Way Home, this moment still leaves a huge, huge impact. Now, these next 3 moments are pretty much from No Way Home, just so you heads up. But it was coming in number 3 for me. It's basically the entire final battle along with the peer interactions from No Way Home. Yeah, I don't know if I'm kind of cheating a bit here, but I mean, and you can't blame me. But yeah, I'm pretty much on the entire final battle along the interactions that Peter have with each other, not just from the treasure one, but more on the comedic side. So basically, they're just trying to find the cures and everything, and discuss about what the stuff they're going through, and feeling why like actually shooting webs out of his body. It's like, I can't out of you. You can do that? No. Like that always makes me laugh and everything, and then that promising not to sounds like, hey, I promise I won't turn you into a villain. And then basically see the fun interactions that they have with each other during the rooftop, which again felt natural and felt like just made me smile so much seeing these guys, what they've been through and everything, and how they were also amped up each other, especially Andrew Garfield and everything. And then somehow I'm trying to talk about the event, how he was part of the Avengers. Like, what's he? Oh, it's awesome! Who's the Avengers? Are you in a band? And then Andrew like, hey, and then Andrew feels like, hey, I love you guys. And I thought that was also improv as well. It makes it a lot more impactful actually. And then that shot where basically we see all 3 Spider-Mans like. I'm sorry, that shot itself just makes my. But everything else from the actual fight sequences are great. I mean, seeing the interactions they have with each other, especially Garfield's with Electro and Peter's with Sandman and everything. You see Doc Ock and seeing his interaction with Toby, like, pretty big smile on my face as a big Raimi fan and everything. And of course, seeing Andrew Garfield actually save MJ, but that's he actually saved MJ this time. Like, that's one that we kind of were expecting to happen. That doesn't make it any less impactful. Like, it's amazing they had to go through all that stuff, and then also seeing Peter just beat the shit out of one of the first Green Goblin, and then Toad stopping him, and then of course the open sapphire to Peter's like, it's also strange to like, hey, tell us another spell, but this time have everyone forget who I am. Everyone forget Peter Parker. I'm gonna be alone, but it's the Western take. Like, I did not expect him to actually go through that route, and I'll talk about the actual ending later, but this is easily one of the best final battles in any superhero movie, and probably any movie I've seen in recent memory. Like, it's that powerful. Up to not, like, it's definitely up to, it's like Endgame levels, and you guys know how much I adore that final battle. Actually, I'm currently working on the actual top 10 list of my favorite moments in that entire final battle. But yeah, that whole final battle and all the interactions that the peers have, and it's just so blissed and just so, oh my god. And we get to another very tragic moment, number 2, and that is the death of Aunt May. Which, I think a lot of us did not expect to actually kill off Aunt May, honestly. Like, I was like, no. Like, this, no. Like, I'm getting tears just thinking about it. Not sure how I exactly feel about the Aunt May version of this movie, but I can, similar to MJ, I think she's a character I think has gotten improved more in later movies. And we got to see a lot more who she is as a character and her interactions with Peter and with everyone around her. And you see that she is pretty much what the Aunt May that we all know and love. And Mr. Tomei does a really great job playing this character, and she does a lot of great moments to shine in No Way Home. That's just she's the one that kind of convinced Peter to save these villains in the first place. And then when it comes to we see Green Goblin just go crazy again and everything, and then people are trying to stop him and everything, and then everything goes crazy, and see Aunt May just. And then, of course, this year get the iconic line, with great power also comes great responsibility. I think, was it, just like, oh, she said the line, but it's like, wait, no. Like, and the fact that how they actually did her death as well is pretty tragic. Like, they don't just jump in with a joke. They just let that scene linger on. It's pretty surprising because Marvel has always been known for kind of just having emotional scenes that just having like a random joke pop in random, which I'm usually never have a problem with, honestly, doing extended leads because sometimes it's a ganger issue. But the fact that they actually didn't play a joke and actually took it very seriously is pretty fantastic and impactful. Impactful, and Tom Holland's acting in this scene, wow. Wow, it can emotional speak about. It's never one of those emotional. It's honestly one of the most emotional I felt on a death in recent memory. Like, in fact, like I didn't think they actually could kill off in the way that they did and everything. In fact, that of course J.K. Simmons tried to frame this as Peter Parker's fault. Like, makes it even impactful. In fact, it's French, and it's really brings his arc to really full circle and everything. And also one day like when they're going to shoot Uncle Ben or whatever, but this kind of basically is Peter's origin story. And we'll talk about that. And speaking of his origin story, that brings us to my #1 favorite moment from the Spider-Man Homecoming trilogy, and that is the actual ending. Basically everything that happened after that the time where Peter basically decided to basically give up his life to save everybody. And where he basically says, after he basically says goodbye to MJ and Ned, it's like, I promise, I'll find you and I'll make you remember me. Like, oh man, that is incredibly impactful. Like, man. And I see Peter trying to going to MJ, do what he promised. But then again, I'm not fulfilling that promise. Because he knew that if he did, as I seen like MJ's injury, that they would end up kind of hurting him in the long run. Basically, he sacrificed his friends, everything, just so he would not hurt them. Which is definitely a message that's always been prevalent in Spider-Man media. But whenever it does portray this well, it's so impactful. Whenever, yeah, this is something that always been portrayed in Spider-Man media. Like this moment in general just made me like why I love Spider-Man and why Spider-Man is my favorite superhero of all time. Especially a lot of time fights that he goes through, and sometimes being superhero, even being Spider-Man, just fucking sucks sometimes, especially if you had to lose the people that you love. But that's just what it being a superhero, and then basically we see Peter just moving into a random apartment, and basically kind of similar to basically what Spider-Man is. Just, and again, it's so impactful that they actually did this so well. And it's going to be pretty amazing what else they're going to do with this character. Like, I'm not exactly sure when they're going to make another Spider-Man with Tom Holland, because it's so up in the air. It's always so up in the air whether or not Tom Holland is going to portray the character again, at least to when he's going to portray the character again. But either way, whatever they're going to do with Spider-Man next, like, there's so many other possibilities. There's so many crazy things that they're going to end up doing with Spider-Man. In fact, I really don't even know where they're going to go, even with the post-credit scenes. Like, I guess this might play a little bit into the Doctor Strange movie, No Madness, but this is easily one of my favorite endings in movie recent memory. Not just superhero movies, but all movies in general, because of how it just impacts you emotionally, especially what people have gone through throughout these movies, and it makes you appreciate Homecoming, Far From Home so much more, honestly. I don't know if that was why, personally, for me, this movie is the ending is my personal favorite moment in this trilogy. Whew. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed me discussing my 10 favorite moments from the Spider-Man Homecoming trilogy. I would definitely love to know down below in the comment section what are your favorite moments from this trilogy. And again, let me know what are best moments, like down below. Let me know down below in the comments. I actually do plan to do some more best moments from the Marvel movies coming very soon actually. I have a lot of ideas for best moments lists as well. I actually really enjoyed doing those videos, so I'm very excited to get more of those. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I truly honestly appreciate it. If you haven't, be sure to like this video, be sure to share and subscribe, be sure to follow all my social media sites. All links switching out below. I am Sam One from Sam One Productions. I'll see you next time. As always, stay cool, everybody. Peace.